What's up, everybody? Welcome to Real Estate Aholics. I got my guy Lenny Smith on the call with us. What's up, Lenny?
Jay, what up?
Man, real estate.
all day, every day. Hey,
Yeah.
man, I saw a cool shirt the other day that says, warning, I just may randomly talk about real estate.
You should have bought two. You want to send me one, you supposed to kept one.
For sure.
Well, listen, man. We got a great guest, man. We want to pop in here, man. Without further ado. You send me one, you supposed to kept one.
For sure.
Oh, you feedback out? Well, listen,
No,
man.
my bad.
We got a great guest, man. Okay, we got a great guest coming in, man. Let's just pop him in here. Everybody should know who we talking about. What's up, Sterling Anderson?
What's going on, fellas?
Man, nothing much, man. Good to see you, bro.
Same, man. Same.
We got the other guy, Jerell Mattis. What's up, Jerell?
Jerell, what's up,
What's up, guys? What's up, players?
All right.
Peace,
All
man.
right, man.
Love, bro.
Well, listen, man, we wanted to make sure, man, first and foremost, man, we really appreciate you, Sterling, man, for coming on, man. I know you're a very busy guy. You and your family and, you're doing your thing across the world. Right? So listen, man, tell us a little bit about you. Well, let me do this. First of all, his name is Sterling Anderson, the founder and principal of, how do I say that? Aria.
Yep.
Aria Capital. And he's out of Omaha. Great brother, man, doing some, not Omaha, he's Omaha. Doing some amazing things, man. Tell a little bit about what you got going on over there, man.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. It's actually two businesses that I have. Aria Capital is more so the residential development, multifamily, and hospitality. And then Simple Key Homes does a lot with the residential wholesaling. So we still wholesale, single family deals and smaller multifamily deals. So two companies that I have here in Omaha. I've been in the business since 2010, 2011. Full time since 2013. I was doing loans and underwriting at Bank of the West and had left there to pursue doing real estate full time. Has it been a easy road? No. But of course, through the years, I've been able to do some good things and be a part of some good deals and doing some fix and flips and got into rentals and then met my mentor Grant Cardone and got more so into multifamily. And then started syndicating some deals and, now getting into hotels and residential development. But we can certainly get through all that, but that's just kind of my path that I took.
Absolutely. Well, I didn't know you had to start like me when I started off as a mortgage broker.
Oh, yeah.
For a little while, man. Yep. So what possessed you to think, man, to get into real estate? Man?
Well, my grandparents were in real estate. And so they owned rental properties, and I would see, how they handled things, and that's something that I wanted to do. I've seen how my grandfather owned properties, and my grandmother. And then about 2009, 2010, I came across wholesaling. And I don't know if you guys know who Kenny Rushing is. Kenny Rushing was actually one of the first guys that I watched doing wholesaling. Him and Cody Sperber were two guys that I started out watching. So I would do that. My first deal was a duplex. I think I made like $5 or $8 grand off of that duplex and was hooked.
Nice.
Ever since in doing that. But it's like I wouldn't just take what I learned and sit on it. I was one that would go out and take the action that you needed to do to go out and do a deal and implement it. And I knew that was going to be important for me to go out and do deals and do them consistently. But yeah, that was my first deal back then, man, starting out.
Man, residential.
Yeah.
Man, I guess everybody pretty much starts off I can't say everybody, but majority of people does, right? That residential can be really it can be a drag sometimes, man, but you gotta love it.
Oh, for sure.
I know we talked a little bit about the process. You know what I'm saying? In that business, you gotta understand the process, man. You gotta be a labor of love for you. But you can't make some good money off of it without really putting any money into it, though. So
yeah.
You got a question, or you guys have a question? Just jump right in. I can go forever, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off of you for a moment.
Okay. Go ahead, Jerell. You say you got a question?
No, I'm having a little technical difficulties. I'm working it out right now. Go ahead, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Sterling. So I just wanted to tap in real quick, man. Once again, I'm Lenny. I'm over here in Springfield, Missouri. And I started wholesaling 2 years ago. This year, I'm starting to grab some creative deals for myself.
I just need
and
trying to talk and keep build my mind and look up and see you moving and stuff.
So I know you're the man on the multi-units, right? So I was hearing a few days ago that somebody was telling me that I'm better off. What they were saying, that it's easier for me to get certain financing for multi-units easier than it is for single families if those multi-units are cash flowing. Can you expound on that a little bit for me?
Yeah, I mean, it's to be honest, fellas, it's like if I could go back, I would have started out with multifamily. I would have completely skipped residential. Nothing wrong with that. And I always tell people that it's like, if you're in residential, stay there and scale and grow. But it is, I mean, financing is a lot easier than you have multiple options when you're doing multifamily. Whether you're doing, just straight agency debt, if you're doing Fannie and Freddie, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, type deals, you have bridge lenders, you have family offices, which is a lot of what we work with right now. Instead of going out and raising capital from several different investors, we can tap into a family office that we're just dealing with one person that cut one check. They're managing a family's money, and they're placing a family's money or organization's money into a property. Now, on your first few deals, they may have a little bit more say-so in that deal, but I'd rather have that and work that out with them because I know that there's going to be more deals down the line. So those are really good options to have. And, you have SBA loans that deal some with multifamily too. So a lot of things that you can't get in the single family space, you can get over in multifamily, especially in the smaller, 2 to 20 units. There's different programs out there that you can tap into to be able to do that. And it works a lot easier. Private investors that can be, KPs or key principals. If you don't have the liquidity for that loan, you can tap a KP that he can specifically work as the guarantor on that loan. So those are just the different things.
Hold on, Sterling. One second. Listen, this is on fire right now. Listen, if y'all listen, you gotta share this video. You gotta subscribe to this video, man. Go back to the KP for me.
Yes. Yeah.
And bring us back, man.
Yeah, man. So the KP is really important, especially when you start scaling up, when you start to getting to, your 50 units and 100 units, and you're doing that, even if you're doing residential development like what we're doing, hotels like we're doing, having a KP is essential. I don't have $30 million. I do not. But I have an investor that has a $30 million net worth or $30 million in cash that he can show, that can guarantee on a loan. Now I make him a partner in the deal. Yeah. So there's a lot of those people out there like that's their sole thing. They're using their balance sheet to guarantee your loan. Now, do you have to you have to sweeten the deal a little bit more for them? Absolutely. But you can get into that deal. That even works when you're going forward and you are submitting, an LOI, a letter of intent on a property. You back that up with, a partner that, can guarantee that loan. Or if you're going for, agency debt, a couple ones that we use are like Meridian Capital out of New York. They're one of our main lenders. They'll lend 75 to 80% of the debt on that property. So, okay, you need to go raise 15, 20% of equity for that property. Now, from that point, we're using, we're with Agora now, and Agora is essentially our investment platform where investors can go in there to look at more information on the deal. They can fund their investment. They can get their tax statements at the end of the year for that deal. So it makes it a lot easier when it comes to investor relations. But those KPs, man, can really make your deal happen on a small or bigger level.
Man, I see.
So Agora is something like crowdfunding.
What was that?
Agora is something like crowdfunding.
Not necessarily like the other crowdfunders. What they do, they're essentially just like a portal, an investor portal, where you can, place your deal. They don't get any piece of that deal like some of the other ones do. It's just basically a place where you can manage all of your investors. You can manage your deals. You can raise capital. So they would send it through the portal. It's sent to your bank. Same thing when it happens with distributions. You can do distributions through the portal. It just really makes the investor relations part easier, especially when you have multiple investors on a deal. It's good to have your system set up. It's good to have that communication. It's good to be transparent during those deals as well, because I mean you have that fiduciary responsibility to manage somebody's money. So you want to make sure that you're being transparent. You want to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Ask me how I learned that lesson. So it's very valuable lessons to learn. You just have to be transparent, even if you have problems and issues and things. Be upfront, be forward. To make sure you let your investors what's happening.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's back up a little bit. And so now you in residential. So what got you out of residential to get into commercial?
Yeah.
Oh, how long did
Grant Cardone for sure.
Okay.
I had, and this was back when Twitter was popping. We're probably talking about 2014, 2015. Twitter is actually still popping today. I set up my account again, and I'm making some good connections on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, but back then I would follow Grant and I would retweet him some stuff. He followed me and he would retweet some of my stuff that I would put out as well. I would call into his shows. I would actually get through several times. On some of those videos, there's just me and him having dialogue back and forth about a deal or about entrepreneurship or about marketing, and some of that stuff's out there. So at the time, his head of production had called me and said, "Hey, Grant is about to launch this network. What do you think about having a show on the network?" And so
this is about connecting. This is about reaching out, connecting.
We're just reaching out and connecting.
This is a people business, guys.
That's it. And so we did that, and the show was called The Sterling Report. It's still on YouTube. There's episodes still there with me and Grant, and I went and shot some other episodes and went down to Miami to shoot a couple episodes. But that was the extent of that. And before I left his office, he said, "If you ever need anything, never hesitate to ask." He's never wavered. He's never wavered from that. He said, "Hey, I understand you're doing single family, but get out, at some point, transfer over into multifamily. You can scale quicker. You can scale faster that way. It just makes sense to do it that way." I taught him how to wholesale. Like there's an episode where he didn't understand, anything about wholesaling, and we're going through the whole wholesaling part of that to where he understood it and he got it. And that's one of my favorite, one of my favorite ones. But he was the one that was instrumental in getting me into wholesaling, not wholesaling, but into the multifamily side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool.
Man, that's huge right there. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, just keep following up, keep on touching bases, and then also then you can find your time where you can bring value just as much as you're seeking from him. Yeah.
And that's the key right there too, Jerell. It's providing value, not just a whole, taking thing. It's really providing value in any partnership that you're in.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very important. It's like even in commercial, right? Let's say you want to learn commercial. If you can find a pretty solid commercial deal and take it to an investor, I just cut me in a piece or whatever the case is, right? But let me see how it works. Let me be involved in the conversation, so that way you can actually learn how to do it by doing that alone.
Same conversation. Excuse me. Same conversation that we're having in New Orleans, because we're building down there. So, but we're also getting into like commercial and triple net leases. So triple net leases is a really, really, really big thing for business. Yeah. So if you don't know triple net leases, now don't spread yourself thin, but get to know triple net leases for sure.
That's one of the deals you go get the property and you lease it out for 10 years or something like that. And they got to take care from the beginning, from the top to the bottom. You just collect that.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
You guys can't walk over triple net leases and not explain a little bit.
That's it, man. It's just, you have essentially have a property that you're leasing out, or then you have another, somebody else comes in and leases, and somebody else comes in, of course, leases that property. It could be that building, could be a building, then it could be a grocery store in that building, or it could be just like right around the corner for me. I'm looking at a Walgreens, that has a triple net lease on it. Now, Walgreens doesn't own the building. They pay a landlord to rent out that space. So you, of course, turn yourself into the landlord. Walgreens is paying you, or Starbucks is paying you. Now, people don't understand that a lot of these companies don't own the buildings that they're in. There's a developer, there's a landlord that what they call build to suit. They build out those spaces for these companies, and they in turn pay them rent. Some of the higher ones, like Magic Johnson and Shaq, they get, of course, a percentage of the royalties and sales from those different type of deals. So triple net leases is certainly the door to where you can get into that and do that. With me, that's our ultimate goal, is to be able to have that type, not just getting the leases and the rents and everything, but also a percentage of what that store or what that company is doing as well. And you do that again with relationships, with performance, and just when those leases come up, going back to the drawing board or going back to the table and just saying, okay, how can we make this relationship better? How can we keep you here? It's really a tug and pull with that. One gives something, the other gives something, and you make it work. But triple net leases are something to where you can get into that thing and you can have some pretty decent cash flow, per month from it.
There's some really good books that kind of break the whole thought process down.
Yeah.
Right. And it's actually some great videos on YouTube as well to kind of help you through it or whatever. But nothing beats going through a deal. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? But to kind of get your mind together and like, okay, kind of see how that works.
For sure.
It's phenomenal. What do you think about master lease options? Have you ever done one of those for commercial?
You know what? When I was first getting into multifamily, there was a guy in Chicago, and we had talked about doing master leases. And so I think it's a great concept if you can certainly pull that off. I haven't actually done one, but it's something that I would entertain if that did come up. Again, because it's a way to really get into a property, nothing down. You're completely working. It's essentially a seller finance type, type situation. A creative way to do that deal. So yeah, if you can do a master lease, you're definitely ahead of the game with that.
Preferably, you're looking at a property probably around 20 units and under.
Yeah,
maybe a mom and pop type of situation. Somebody
that's where that works best.
Yeah.
Okay. So after this call, Sterling, I got one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what this is about right there.
They ready to go.
Right on. Good.
Cash flowing and everything. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah,
we're gonna tap in.
Yeah, we're gonna tap in.
So you start off doing these residential in Omaha, right?
Yes.
How was that? Like I've heard of people do all kind of deals everywhere else, but never Omaha. I think you're the only person I know that does a good.
Man, that's where I am. This is home for me, born and raised. So, that's home. It's easy here now. We had a lot of people come into, the market as wholesalers, of course, as it's become more popular, and they're doing the residential and doing that. With me, I'm still wholesaling. I actually came back to wholesaling a couple months ago because I had investors that were just like, hey, we need deals. We're still looking for deals. I'm not going to leave that money sitting on the table. So if I can find some properties and put out some marketing. And so we relaunched Simple Key Homes for that specific purpose, was to find investors deals. But then with us, we're into residential development too. We just got 150 acres under contract to do a multi-use development. So that we're trying to work out to see if it's just going to be 2 subdivisions. Are we going to do mixed use and retail and housing? So we're trying to figure that out. And then we do multifamily and then hotels. So we're not just on that wholesaling front. So when somebody asks, okay, well, are you worried about, too many people coming to the market and too much competition? No. And I don't say that as a cocky thing. I work with some of those wholesalers and work with some of those other people, but I have so much going on in, other parts of real estate, man, that it just doesn't, I just do what I do. And I don't necessarily worry about who's got something else going on. I'm focused on where Simple Key is headed and where Aria Capital is headed. And that's where I'm at.
It's enough room for everybody.
It is. It really is.
So,
yeah.
Okay. That's huge, man.
Yeah. More people to work with.
Yeah. There you go.
Definitely.
Can't sell real estate to yourself.
Come on, man. Right.
So, so tell us what's your worst and best residential deal.
Oh man, my worst. Oh wow.
Worst and your best.
My worst residential deal. I always have to say, like, I can't say that was my worst deal because it actually happened more than once where the seller backed out last minute.
Yeah.
Those are like the worst. I really haven't had anything too crazy, but I've had a couple times where the seller backed out last minute, or I had one time where a buyer backed out surprisingly, and sometimes that happens a few times. Only happened to me one time where I had a buyer back out on a residential deal. We got to the week of closing. I can't do it. I can't make it happen. So I'm trying to hurry and scurry and try and find another buyer and do that. So, that's really the craziest of that. Now, have I been in some crazy properties? Absolutely. Where I almost fell through the stairs and fell in the basement. Those type of deals where you're just in there and the nitty-gritty of going through a deal.
But don't you say cha-ching when that almost happened?
That's it. That's it. I wholesaled that deal too, so it worked out fine. It worked out fine.
I know I said OHIT when I walked in, and this guy was taking a doodle in the room. It was a homeless guy. He was in the bedroom. He wasn't even in the bathroom. Man, crap out of me.
It's crazy, man. The stuff that we see, the stuff that we deal with going into these properties is something.
Gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Tell us. Well, okay. What's your best one? What's your best residential?
Oh man, best residential was a seller who had multiple properties. He had a 12 property package. Sold all of them. So this was about. Did you cherry pick them, or did you just sold them all at one time? Yeah, cherry picked them. So there were different investors that would come through and get them. I think it took probably 2 months before we were just completely out of that deal. But sold them all, and those are like the investors that, or the landlords I like to look for that have multiple properties that they're looking to sell. Then they're gonna go tell the other guy who got multiple properties. He gonna tell his guy. So you just keep that relationship and keep that going. But man, those deals like that work out well with those.
And you're the only one that knows. You're the only one that know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to do that. And I tell people, it's like, you get services like, we use batch leads. That's one of our best programs that we use. And we find those investors who have multiple properties, and you reach out to those investors and see if they have any properties that they're interested in selling. And you just build that relationship to them. Maybe they're not ready right now, but you put them, we use MailChimp for our email service. Put them on your email list, text them, and just keep them updated. Are they looking for anything else? Ask those key questions. If they're not ready now, you put them on top of mind for you when they are ready.
The money is in the follow-up, guys.
Money's in the follow-up. That's it.
Money's in the follow-up.
Check this out.
I can't tell you how many times I talked to people who spoke to me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's bread and butter.
Man,
really.
That's it.
That's
it. Yeah.
Tell us about this deal right here.
Oh my God. So this one right here, this is in Council Bluffs, Iowa, which is essentially, you got Nebraska, it's just right across the bridge. So this one right here is a complete gut. My partner actually brought this deal, and I think we are now on our third price drop for this property. It's a 2-2, completely gutted, down to the studs. You see that there, and I think we have it at like $65K right now. It would be a pretty extensive.
It's on the market now.
What did you say?
It's on the market right now.
Yes. Yes, on the market right now, $65K. And then we have it at, I think it's $215 or $230 for the ARV. And we've had people come through there. It's just Council Bluffs is one of those. It's real fickle. You could have a good block, the next block is horrible. I think we're on one of the horrible blocks,
like Springfield. Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's a decent property. We thought about tackling and taking it on, but it's a pretty extensive rehab for that, ones. But I mean, a perfect example of, taking, trying to wholesale a property that just won't sell. I mean, we have the ones where everything will go, but this is one of those ones where it's gonna take a minute. We may have to be a little bit more creative with that, and then coupled with, we're in a different type of a market right now where buyers don't necessarily jump at deals the way that they used to. They're kind of choosy. They kind of want to place their funds with the right type of property. With that, and we'll see, more of that come down the pipe, and we'll see, of course, more opportunities, but the buyers just kind of being like, let's make sure this is just a really, really good one.
So everybody that's listening to this right now, that's all on the pages. Y'all see, this is a great deal here. You need to jump on it. Reach out to Sterling, man, if you guys are interested in this deal. Like, share, and subscribe to this, guys, if you're on here, man. This is great content. You got to do that.
Let me ask you, like, I've closed over 300 to 400 loans, but I can't say I've ever closed one in Nebraska.
Yeah.
How's the market there? Like, I know you said slowing really down.
Yeah, market's pretty hot. We stay, like, when the rest of the country are like key markets get hit, we don't get hit as bad. Which is which makes Omaha such a great market. If there's something comes on the market, it gets snatched up pretty quick. Right now, I think our average days on market is about 36 days.
It's not bad.
It's not too bad. But the market still moves. We have more buyers coming to the market. We have a lot of development happening here in Omaha. So it's a lot. And then Lincoln, which is our capital, about 45 minutes southwest of us, they're starting to have an uptick as well. So
like you mentioned, you're seeing more wholesalers, if anything, in your market.
A lot more wholesalers are popping up. We have our main ones that have a pretty good decent share of the market, and then we have the other ones where they're coming in. You see them, you don't see them because they figure, okay, I thought this is going to be quick and easy to do a deal. You got to put that work in, man. It's not people. I think people get that. I seen this on Instagram. I seen this on YouTube. I seen the checks and different things like that. You don't realize the work that it takes to get a deal, to wholesale a deal, to market it. We are in the marketing business.
Definitely,
you have to market every single day.
100%.
I speak to certain people about inquiring about wholesaling. I always tell them, like, you have to look at it from the backwards. Like, you're going to rehab, and look at it backwards from that point, because you're not going to sell it you're not selling to someone retail. If you're wholesaling, you're not selling to someone retail. So keep in mind, like, learn how to put together a deal, how to quote a property, how to make sure that the comps are correct. Follow along someone with experience, per se. If you don't, that way you can get into the knowledge, tap into the things that's key about wholesaling without having to actually fund the deal. But just, a lot of people don't want to ask or, do certain things with a certain investor that in your city that's popping. Ask them, like, hey, can I come over with you and make sure? Can I go over to the house and make sure your contractors are there? Just do something.
Bring value.
Something that you think that guy don't have time for, or that woman, that lady don't have time for. Fulfill that, and then you would get gems, or they will have the time and now the reason, basically, to sit down and speak to you about certain things you're lacking in your knowledge, but wholesaling is not easy. It's not easy because
not at all.
Like you're saying, every deal isn't fire, isn't going to just sell, isn't going to just sell itself. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes setting expectations a lot of times with the sellers, to let them know what's going on, gain a rapport instead of trying to keep everything under cuff and not letting them try to show your hand. I found in a few wholesale deals that I was worried about, that I was successful for myself, is that if I just I can't buy, I'm not going to buy the property, but I have several investors who are, they're coming through. They're not coming by this week, but next week they are, and just keep that open. ultimately they know their property is a tough one to sell.
Yeah, exactly. You
they
said
know
that
that
right
also.
too. They know
Half the time they know already. They already tried,
Right.
So they love the help. And also not, I found also using you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but this has helped me sometimes not try to lock them in so much. Hey, if you sell the property, fine. But if I come with a buyer, I got first dibs,
Open-ended option agreement.
Exactly. Sometimes
Absolutely.
people don't want to just put all their faith in you, but hell, they'll cash your check.
Absolutely. Open-ended option agreement is what we use.
Okay.
For sellers, we don't do just a straight, we're going to lock your property up for 30 days and do that. If you sell your property, great. But again, like you said, they're waiting on you to perform 9 times out of 10. And I think being upfront with a seller, even before you sign a contract, like, hey, we tell our sellers, yes, we are going to make money off of this deal. We're not too sure what our exit strategy is going to be, and it's the truth. We may hold this, we may wholesale it to one of our other buyers.
True.
It's the truth. So being upfront with sellers, and then they know, okay, well, who I thought you were buying this? Who's this other person coming to view my property? You already had that conversation.
They're already on board and ecstatic about you having someone to come over now. So
and the amount that I told you is not going to change.
It goes a long way, man. It does go a long way. I had a guy a few days ago, and I kind of like pick this. Like I pick certain scenarios. Like I give certain sellers certain scenarios, right?
Okay.
So I would say the guy who I was talking to yesterday, I was like, hey man, look, I just came back to guy straight forth. Like, hey man, look, I buy real estate on creative terms. My sisters buy real estate. My brothers buy real estate. I got a bunch of partners that buy real estate, right? So if I can't offload this deal, that's when I become a wholesaler. I'll sell this deal. I will make money off the deal, but you guys won't give me a dime for selling your property at all whatsoever. This will literally be on my buyer, right? So this is kind of the same reason why you guys didn't want to list it, is because you guys didn't want to part with any money, right?
Yeah.
So, I totally get it.
Hey.
That's smooth right there, man.
That's
smooth.
I really haven't met one person who say no, seriously, because I've not, honestly, I haven't, because, and then that gives them now they understand, your position.
Right.
I've wholesaled properties that I was going to rehab, and I've rehabbed properties that I thought I was going to wholesale. So it's not like you just know that, hey, if I know how I'm going to juggle this, if something more, if I can offload it quicker, or if I may turn down wholesale deals, I'm not getting the right number and do it myself. But keeping that open and that transparency allows you to move differently in the transaction.
You get late news and everything.
So everybody
never good news on those times.
Everybody that's listening to this, I hope you guys are getting this game. This is valuable. I would say another thing you can do too is try the multiple offer strategy. Right? Most people who come into the game, they only know wholesaling. What about subject twos? What about land contract? What about lease options? Right? If you can figure out different ways to get that deal done. So my motto is, even if the property is upside down, if the seller's motivated, I can get it done.
You can get it done. Look at that.
You tell me what you want. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get money together so you can go to California and live your life? We can still help you even if you're upside down. When you have that kind of mindset, you can close multiple deals. And let the seller determine which one they want to go with. Here's the cash offer, here's the subject to offer, here's the owner, whatever it is. I present them with all the different offers, right? Sometimes I do it that way. Sometimes if you tell me this is what you want, okay, this is what I got you. Everything you say you wanted, this is what I got you. But if it's kind of up in the air, I give multiple offers and say, hey, you decide what you want to do.
It's kind of funny you said that, because the beauty of my job is that working with several lenders, I'm gonna provide my clients from the rip loan options. Not just one lender. Because one lender may have a higher loan to value, but higher interest, and this one maybe have just a tad bit lower loan to value, but much lower interest or origination points or whatnot. So that whole options thing, it works in whatever field you're in. I mean, pigeonholing yourself is never really ideal, and that's why we're in real estate.
Yep.
So there's no pigeonholes. You can do anything you want. It's it's a platter of different options, and it's all, like I said in previous videos that we've had, it's like a puzzle. You don't always see the picture, but as long as you're at the table working on it, you're going to complete it. So I mean, anyone can do real estate. Everyone can do real estate. I wish everyone did buy and sell properties. I tell you the truth.
So much opportunity.
Really, there's so many opportunities, so much opportunity. Go ahead, Jay.
No, so let's tell you. So we talked about the residential, right? The best and worst deal. What about commercial? What's your best and worst deal for commercial?
Oh man, commercial would have to be a couple years ago before COVID hit, we were going to do a development deal. We were building 42 units here in Midtown Omaha, and so we had investors come in. We're drawing up plans. I spent money on architects. I spent money on engineering. I spent money on surveys. Did all of these things. And we were coming down to the day before to close on the land. I had 2 investors back out. So wasn't able to, of course, secure the rest of the rest of the funds to get the land. And the hard thing about it is that, there's another developer here who is now building on that land. I have to drive past that. So it kind of sticks and it kind of hurts. I seen the news story on it a couple weeks ago. I was just like, oh man, it hurt so bad because it was such a great opportunity to be able to do that. And that's just kind of one of the things too, especially when you have investors that are coming into your deal, making sure that you are proofing up your investors, making sure that your investors, you can get a soft commitment from them, but making sure when it is time to pull the trigger, your investors pull the trigger.
So here's the deal. So from my understanding is that you overraise.
Exactly. That's the lesson I learned. You overraise, you oversubscribe. Is the deal. So just making sure that you do that. So we make every point now, even when I'm raising capital for others, whether it's my deal or I'm raising capital for other deals, I make sure that we oversubscribe.
Is it like 25% over or something like that?
Yes.
Or 50% over?
We're usually about 25-30% over, just to make sure, hey, if something happens, because it can and it will. You can be tapped. You can be pretty decent.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's another rule, guys. If you're raising capital, you make sure you do that, man, because life happens to people. What they may have liquid a couple $100,000 now, but when it's time to close the deal, the fund, or whatever the case is, they may not have it. You know, so you don't want to be in that situation. So always,
or another opportunity comes up.
Exactly.
I deal with a lot of private money lenders, and I always, I like working with private money lenders. I feel like working with private money lenders, especially those that are trying to supplement income, with the money that they do have stored, better than, stocks and mutual funds and whatnot. I like working with them because it really helps them, move that money faster than they pretty much could and know how to, right? But the caveat is that I shouldn't say most at all, but a lot, depending on how you want to take a lot, change their minds, get cold feet, have other deals going on, other aspirations, So you definitely, I've never really tried that over raising, but I can't see the harm in it. And I definitely, being the middleman as the broker in the deals that I do, having those expenses that my buyers or clients take on, to get the evaluations done, and then having a key investor back out is catastrophic to it.
It's crazy, man.
And not only to the momentum that your client or yourself was getting, or was gaining. It's just all around is a bad deal, but overraising is one thing to protect yourself. I'm glad you said that.
For sure. Oh yeah.
Before we do the best deal commercial, explain us what the 10X represents.
So the 10X is, of course, that's Grant Cardone's. I have all this stuff keeps me keeps me motivated. I really got into, just the whole 10X mindset. And essentially what 10X is like whatever you're setting out to do that day, you 10X that. You do so much more than that particular task. You need to make 10 calls a day. Okay, you're gonna make 20, or you're gonna make 50, or you're gonna make 100 calls a day. You're gonna just completely 10X, 10X that. My goal, one of my 10X goals is to have a net worth of 100 million. I'm very serious about that goal. I'm very serious about attaining that goal, to own 10,000 units, to have $1 million in income, in passive income a month. I'm very, very serious about those goals. I will not deviate from those goals. So those are really, what 10X is all about. It's really that mindset that you just go harder after everything that you are truly aspiring to do.
So tell me how this person affects you when you have that mindset like that.
How what now?
How does your man affect your mind when you think about that?
Man, let me tell you. You want to
I
get me?
did something with that one, didn't I?
Man, I'm telling you. This is my guy right here, man. This is my son Langston.
Oh, okay.
He was giving me a little concert that day with his brother and his mom. So yeah, we have fun and we chill and and things like that. But him right there, that's my guy. So you want to get me, man. My kids is it.
Listen, I've been watching him since y'all brought him home from the hospital. I feel like I know the little dude, man.
Wow, man. Wow.
That long?
I was like everything. I've been watching the whole story, bro. I'm like,
he's 6 now. Yeah. So yeah, the whole story and his heart condition and all of that stuff he's been through and what he's going through now. So yeah, you know the whole story.
I know the whole story, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
That's
wow. Lost my sound.
I know I'll catch you with that one, though.
Right. Yeah, you got me, man. You want to get me? My kids is it. And then I'm about to be a grandfather in a couple weeks. So it's good times, man.
Your life about to change, bro.
Yes.
Hey, man. My kids, man, it's different, man.
Right.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
man.
It's
something
different.
else.
So, all right. So what's the greatest commercial deal you ever done? The biggest
greatest commercial would have to be my very first syndication deal. Very first syndication deal was 72 units. I did everything. I got Michael. If you know who Michael Blank is, I had got his program and use his syndicated deal analyzer, which I still use today. So I went through that course. Was looking at it, had made all the phone calls and met with investors. It's like the whole process was just smooth. Now, I messed up here and there on a couple things, but just far as meeting with investors, finding out more about what their investment criteria is, learning how to evaluate a deal, learning what to get from a broker, learning what to say to a broker. It's like that whole process was just smooth for me, and I still enjoy that process today. Successfully placed the capital, with Meridian. We're still with them today. They're like our main lender. And then the investors that I had come into that deal, nobody backed out of that deal. Everybody was committed. Everybody was good. Successfully closed that deal. I think that deal, we topped out on that deal a couple years ago. Isn't that deal for just a really short time? Typically, we're looking to do like a 3-year hold where we'll refi and then maybe keep that property for another 7 to 10. But that property we were in and out quickly, but it was just the ease. And typically, it's not that easy to syndicate a deal. Yeah. But for me, just learning and getting into it, because I already knew some things about it, that first deal was just so smooth for me. And I try to take a lot of what I learned from doing that in the other deals, that will syndicate and roll with that.
Listen, Michael Blank, man, I've read. I have one of his ebooks.
Yeah.
10 minutes to offer for a commercial deal.
Yeah.
I read that. I read it like 10, 15 times, man. I passed it out to other people because we really kind of right now we're focusing on the small multifamily properties.
Right.
I haven't got to that level to where I'm looking at them 75.
Yeah.
So we look at the small and trying to do some different things with that, man. So I can quickly look at a commercial property and tell you within 10 minutes, within 10, 15 minutes, right on out, man.
It don't have to take you it don't have to take you all day to analyze the deal.
No,
it doesn't.
No, I don't. No, I don't. When I first started, it did.
Yeah. Let me take that back. When you first start, absolutely. If you get that and learn, man, you'll get there. 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Man. That's dope. That's dope. So you got your team in place, man. You got everything rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So if you had a chance to talk to the 21-year-old you, what would you tell yourself?
Oh man, get into real estate now is what I would tell myself. Back then, I was a concert promoter.
Me too.
I was a concert promoter. So I was doing, nightclubs. I think my biggest show was Snoop and Mike Epps. I did a show with Harris. I did the show with the casino here in actually over in Council Bluffs. That was actually my last show and biggest show. But I would do just the nightclubs and have performers come in and guest DJs and different things like that. I turned 30 years old. I was like, this ain't where I want to continue. But I wanted to do the arenas. I wanted to do the amphitheaters. I wanted to really make it, just an awesome company. But I hit 30 and I was like, no, I need to go a different way here. So real estate, is where that really hit me at.
Man. Well, you ain't like the whole making all your money in one night, huh? It got you like, okay, if this thing don't work tonight, the rain don't work.
So it just became so dull, and the scene just became so boring, and the same stuff. And then with Omaha's a smaller, it was a smaller town entertainment wise. We're growing now and doing stuff, but that's just what it is. But yeah, man, it just got old.
Before I got into real estate, it's funny you said it. We all three.
Yeah.
I did 2 shows. One was with Gorillas though.
Okay.
Back in the day, back in 2000.
Yeah, man.
I think 2008. Yeah. I remember them days going. And I was like, I gotta find another way too.
Man, I think people taking your door money. You supposed to be watching your dough. You making off from a door money? Come on.
It's too many things that can go wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's too many. I mean, the money can be great.
I had rain that went wrong on mine. Rain.
Rain shut you down. Rain shut you down because nobody coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where I'm from, it was a walk-up town, right? So now people are buying tickets up front. The day of, they're coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
I'm in trouble.
Right.
Hey guys, sorry about that, guys. I got kicked out, man. My phone did something weird. I actually had a question, man, for Sterling and Jerell. It may be some people watching this thing, man, with some bad credit, but they really want to get into real estate. They may have done a few deals, may have done a lot of deals, right? And they may have some deals on the table, right? I know can both of you guys speak to like maybe different credit programs? You know what I mean? That somebody with low credit may can still get into a deal.
Credit. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jerell.
I was gonna say credit is pivotal in deals. It's crucial. It really is. I hear a lot of people say, find the deal first. Don't think about your credit, money and all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to the hype. You're gonna have to guarantee some stuff when you start. So you're gonna need credit. Okay. I don't really have, and this is just being upfront, I really don't have any programs that I refer people to. I do have a referral contact that I send people to. And basically she's more inept with tackling those issues. I kind of like tell her where I need you to be, and she would work with you on getting there on different avenues. But one major way and one fast way that I've learned is trade lines, attaching to someone's trade lines, boosting your credit score significantly. You may only need 40, 30 points. It's not going to do 100, 250 points, nothing like that in credit, but it may get you over that 30 to 40 point hurdle that you need to get over to within a short 30 reporting cycle of your credit. So if you have those type of opportunities, search people out that do those type of services. Myself, I can link you in with someone who will love to help you. But other than that, man, just have a plan on how you're going to attack your career in real estate. Start with getting those things that are in your past handled. because they potentially can affect you in the short term of trying to find a deal or trying to land a deal. Excuse me. Just being getting that knowledge about where you are financially is key.
Yes, because I do loans myself, right? I do hard money too, but a lot of people can't get that 680, right? The average credit score is 625 out here anyway, right? That's average. So a lot of those people can't do 680. Dude bought me like a apartment complex. I think it was in Austin, Texas, and he had flipped some houses. He owned about 20 houses. Do credit shot.
Yeah,
you know I mean,
I have a lot of. I have a few. Very, very. I love them to death.
People with credit scores 800 can't get nothing. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like, it's crazy, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I try. 680 definitely is the typical credit limit floor, right? 660. I do partner with lenders that go a little bit lower, as low as 600, and then other mitigating factors as far as experience could counteract your low credit score. Certain things like high credit card utilization may not be much of an issue as a collections. So handle things as in collections on your credit score, or anything that's been missing payments, get those things current. That right there won't be the gleaming red flag in front of the underwriter. And also one other thing I gotta mention, and not everyone has these, but any liens, tax liens, property liens, anything like that, you need to get those things cleared up. They will come up. I'm telling you right now, they will come up. So try to make sure you tackle those things. I'm not trying to say hold off. Spend that time learning, and, building up your network, building up your buyer, your buyers list. There's a lot of things you can do in those 4, 5, 6 months that you're taking that time on focusing on your financial security to also get into real estate. You don't have to just say, "Oh, I'm not ready yet," because you really never know. And then call me, and let me figure all that out for you. Because that's what I do.
That's it.
Good game, y'all.
I'm telling you, man. Serious. Yeah, I don't have any really any programs. I always tell people never let where you are credit wise stop you from getting into the game. You can partner up with other people. You can partner up with people who do have the liquidity, who do have the credit to be able to do that. You guys work out terms and be able to work out a deal. I do recommend, people making sure that they set up their companies. File your LLC, have your operating agreement, set up your bank account, make sure you write, with your taxes and everything. And then you can go out there and get some trade lines, like Jerell said, that could help you. Be able to do that. So never let where you are credit wise certainly stop you from getting into, say like wholesaling. When people start there and they just scale and grow. Some people stay as wholesalers. I have friends that have $1 million wholesale businesses. That's just what they chose to, what they chose to do. So you can definitely get in, even if your credit is just, is just shot. Now work on that. Don't just get that money and not be like, okay, I'm gonna just keep that. That money is for you to level up. That money is for you to scale your current situation and grow. So just don't stay, there when you're, when you get into that bag. Just making sure that you're scaling up and you're growing in all levels of your life, of course.
Yeah. So true. Listen, this has been a lot of game there. Like I call it, what I'm saying? And,
brother, I've done some pretty good podcasts, but this one right here is definitely in my tops, man. You brothers are amazing.
I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us about it, especially all the way out there in Omaha, because now I know what's really going down on Omaha.
I gotta get to Omaha now.
Yeah. We're missing one of our guys, man. Jason Sims, man. You would love him too, man. He's pretty cool, man. So you guys go online, pull up Jason. He's a wholesaler. He does some amazing stuff as well, man. And Listen, whenever you're in Dallas, hit me up, man. If anything I can do for you, let me know, and I'll put boots on the ground for you. So
I will, man. I'll be back down there soon, so I'll definitely make sure we link up.
Okay, definitely, man. Any last words, man? Tell us your handles and all that good stuff.
On Instagram, it is Real Estate Sterling, and then the business is Aria Capital Partners and Simple Key Homes. Goodness, I'm trying to think of what else. That's really the places where we're most active, and I'm most active, and where you can find me. Of course, Sterling Anderson on Facebook. Other than that, man, that's pretty much it.
Okay, excellent. Any more questions, guys?
No, man.
One thing I can say, man, is that you this conversation alone, it proved to me that I'm thinking too small. Because the numbers you're talking about is up there, but it's not so far that it's not attainable.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't thinking that big, but now I see that 10x, that hat you got on.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like you always have a list every day of things you want to get accomplished. Just think about you said, man, get that accomplished, plus, the tomorrow and the next day's things. Touch them, at least, start on them, things that, will put you in successful mind frame every single day.
Exactly. And it could definitely be accomplished. It's just like today, I went from talking about a $250,000 single family property to a $14 million 128 unit to our development, which will be a $100 million development that we'll have to raise capital for. So you have to believe that, okay, this can happen. You definitely have to think bigger. There's nothing wrong with thinking bigger. And you write those goals down. I write my goals down twice a day when I get up in the morning and when I go to bed at night, and I read them throughout the day. But you have to really, truly just believe in that vision and believe in that goal for what you're doing. When I started in wholesaling, I didn't think I'd be talking about $100 million deals.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
I was just thinking
never thought about that. I was back then, 2011, 2012, we're talking about $50,000 or $60,000 deals, to now being able to, to do this and attend conferences and network. And then I do speaking. I speak at real estate conferences. I go to Santa Monica next month to speak at a multifamily conference. So it's things like that, man, that just really keep you engaged and keep you focused to know, okay, I can go bigger than this. Yeah. Somebody else is doing it. I can definitely do that too. They ain't no different than me.
Definitely. No different.
And you brought that home, man. Like to see you, I see like I've been knowing you for many, many years.
That's cool, man. I didn't realize how long we've been, on knowing each other like that, man.
I was telling my guy here, man, about 5-6 years ago. Yeah. I remember that I'm doing some different things, right? And I think I hit you on Facebook or something. You shot me your number. And I'm on the phone. I'm like, wow, this dude was talking to me on the phone. I don't know nothing about nothing, you know what I'm saying? But it just showed me that you was humble. You doing your thing. And to see you doing it, man, I know I can do it too, man. You know,
definitely appreciate you.
I'm going to reach out to you, man, on that raising capital.
Yes.
I know a lot of high net worth individuals. So
awesome,
I need to give you on that for sure. So,
good. Yeah. Do that, brothers. I would like to keep in touch with all you brothers, man. Seriously.
Absolutely.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate your time, man.
All right, King.
Absolutely. Very welcome.
You win, man, and we'll see you on the other side, man.
Sounds good, fellas.
Hey, fellas, stay on for a second. All right, brother, we take it easy.
All right, Sterling. See you, man.
All right.